Wait. Ah, darn it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be doing an unboxing and review video for the 1/6 scale Diecast rescue figure from Avengers Endgame by Hot Toys. I'm pretty stoked for this one personally, and I'll tell you why along the way. Rescue's entrance to the MCU was something I've looked forward to ever since her debut in 2009. But as the third Iron Man movie came and went, and with her apparent breakup with Tony in Civil War, I kind of just gave up hope of ever seeing Rescue on the big screen. I was almost desperate enough to even settle for this unlicensed gender-banned Iron Man called Elron Girl. But I dodged a bullet there because in 2019 came Avengers Endgame, and
boom, you looking for this?
And after a 2-year wait, Rescue finally reached collectors' hands. Needless to say, my excitement was through the roof. Right away, you will notice the proportions are slim and sleek. It's just simple elegance. There are no strange bulges or weird gaps. All the lines come together beautifully. And there's no weathering to be found on this figure. It's pristine like a new car. And that's one detail that suits the character well. Because unlike Tony, Pepper likely doesn't put a lot of mileage into her armor. And in a world filled with Iron Men and war machines, this fun-sized armor might come across as a bit meek. Oh, but wait till you see what she could do. Despite being one of the smallest in the Diecast line, Rescue holds her own in terms of details and articulations. In fact, I'd argue she's one of the best so far. This clever neck joint has a movable back piece that copes with the head tilt, and thus maintains that realistic silhouette, which is a major step up over the Mark 85 Iron Man, where his side profile makes him look like the Alien by H.R. Geiger, and unlike the spring-loaded shoulder pads, which behaves like an ill-mannered child slinging spaghetti all over an Olive Garden, Hot Toys went back to the more civilized manual shoulder pads, so you can take your sweet time to fiddle with that juicy Hot Toys articulations, or maybe admire this adjustable bicep plating, before closing up shop at your own leisure. And even though this feature was never shown in the movie, the chest piece is also removable, which is a Hot Toys tradition at this point. The 3 pairs of articulated air flaps are beautifully detailed and layered, which adds a sense of depth in every viewing angle. The tried and true extendable waist and torso makes a return, and once again accompanied by 2 rather robust flaps for that extra degree of flexibility. The pelvis to thigh extension and the expandable side flaps are all here, giving Rescue an excellent range of motion. Nothing is discounted despite its small size, and when coupled with the usual swivels, a ratchet knee joint, and some beautifully articulated toe and ankle actions, you're left with a figure who can do superhero landings all day like it's nobody's business. And of course, there's an LED light-up function as well. There's a battery compartment underneath the scalp, another one in the back, one underneath each arm, and one on each upper thigh. I'm gonna level with you. Installing these batteries is a pain in the butt, but it's well worth the effort, because Rescue shines like a Christmas tree when you're all done. It's also pretty cool to see some of the lights here in the torso, because they weren't there in the promo pics. Hot Toys added those on the final product, which is a nice surprise. Though I do want to note that there are no LEDs on the elbows, but it's not a deal breaker, or at least for me. The included accessories are also adequate enough to cover what little screen time Rescue had in the movie. Starting with the head sculpt, the face cover sits on top via a magnet. The portrait is beautifully painted, though I'm not seeing a whole lot of pepper pots in this head sculpt. Then again, maybe it's just me, because I have the same problem with the Captain America head sculpt. Then we have the Sentry drones, which is mounted over this clear base frame. There's also this slotted battery cover on the left, which conveniently snaps on the base frame, which then goes on Rescue's back. Needless to say, the setup looks amazing. Then we have the beam particle effect, which already has the hooks in place for mounting the Sentry drones. There are also 2 indentations for fitting the repulsor hand pose, which could then be attached to the figure. Or at least this is what the instruction manual tells you to do, but I had no luck doing it this way. Instead, I put the repulsor hands onto the figure first, which then makes it a lot easier to put on the beam piece, and then finally the drone piece. This is just downright awesome. But do be careful because this setup makes the figure a little front heavy, so doing this without a display stand is not recommended. Fortunately, this release does come with a display stand, which has a flexible stem, so the clamp can suspend the figure for aerial poses. For the size comparison, here we have the Hot Toys Pepper Potts that came out in 2016. Rescue does stand a little taller, and has better proportions overall. For me personally, the likeness on either head sculpts are only so-so, but the Rescue version looks slightly better due to the newer and more advanced paint application. And for those who are curious, the 2016 head sculpt could go on Rescue without any mods, but it sits a little too high unfortunately. I also don't have a replacement neck base with the proper skin tone, but I'm sure it'll do wonders for those who do. Then we have the Mark 85 Iron Man himself. And if it wasn't already obvious, I'm not the biggest fan of this Iron Man, mainly due to its slightly janky proportions. But I absolutely cannot deny that this husband and wife duo looks fantastic together. And just for fun, here's Rescue next to some previous releases from the Diecast line. This figure is simply a breath of fresh air in your collection. So, this is the perfect Diecast figure. Case closed? Well, not really. I don't know if you can see this little scuff mark here, but that's a result of me prying out the flap, because out of the box, this thing was stuck AF. I used a needle to slowly pry out the joint to a functioning state, so hopefully this doesn't happen to you. The chin for this head sculpt also came loose very quickly. I actually found this on the floor because I didn't even know it came off, and it took me a few minutes to figure out where it belonged, so keep an eye out for yours. So there you have it, the 1/6 scale Diecast Rescue figure by Hot Toys. The body proportions on this figure is one of the best I've seen so far. Not to mention, the articulation actually helps in maintaining the overall physique. With the abundance in details and the super awesome accessories, this release raises the bar for what a Hot Toys Diecast figure can be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.